That game was Schenn-sational.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game.
Yeah, and Montreal really paid the price.
I get it. It's funny. It's his name.
Yeah, they really gave him the shaken Blake.
I don't know him. Leafs win 5-2. That sank a dip over the Montreal Canadiens.
You speak Spanish?
This game was filled with all sorts of levels of win. Schenn getting his first career NHL goal, Blake netting a pair, and, well, nothing can be sweeter than a win in Montreal. Probably the worst part of the game is that Mike Van Ryn had to leave with injury, and I'm just going to say he should never play original six teams. He gets injured last night against the Canadiens. Kostopoulos mangled him a couple months ago. In Boston, he got knocked through the glass, and then a few games later, he got a concussion in Boston. Mike, you're not allowed. And when Van Ryn went down to injury, the Canadiens really picked up the pace and fired all sorts of shots on Toskala. You got to give props to Ian White for picking up those minutes, and Toskala for really answering the call. And poor Vesa, everyone was ragging on him this week. Ron Wilson, Brian Burke, and even just people around town. Like, I got the cappuccino. That depends. Can you get a goals against average under 3? And it's one thing to be in a slump, but if you can pick yourself out of it, that shows character. And also, much to a lot of fans' dismay, the main fight in this game was Brad May versus George Laraque, and not Grabowski versus Kostitsyn.
And it might have Kostitsyn them the game.
That was terrible. Anyway, but I'm glad they didn't fight. Grabowski's been on an offensive slump lately and doesn't really need to be fighting to get himself out of it. That being said, he played under 11 minutes, got 3 shots on goal, and no points. But who cares? Leafs win in Montreal. Jason Blake, given the shaken Blake, picks up another 2 goals tonight. And Dominic Moore, with the 2 assists, now has 8 points in his last 5 games. My question of the game to you: do you think Dominic Moore will be a Toronto Maple Leaf next year? You know, I hope so, because I know the idea of the rebuild is to sell all your players and get picks and prospects and whatnot, but he's just been nothing but good since coming to the Leafs. Like the inexpensive knows his role kind of good. And since it's been kind of doom and gloom in Toronto with the players and everyone's going to be gone at the trade deadline, which is about 3 weeks away, by the way, let's talk about something that's a little closer: the skills competition. Second question of the game: who's going to win fastest skater and who's going to win hardest shot? And last, I told you guys to give me video responses for the impression you want me to do for an individual video. And I've gotten some, but not enough. So guys, keep sending me your video responses. What impression do you want me to do for an entire video? Well, that's it for this game. I'll see you after the next one. Luke Schenn, congrats on your first goal, bud.